Hello, everybody. This is Ahmed again. Trying to do, I think, my 11 podcast now, and it's working very well, and I'm getting a lot of feedback and comments and ideas. So I appreciate that. Today is going to be a little bit different. I just had a coffee with an old friend. Bill Sorem. I mean, this guy is just a bleeding heart Democrats. I mean, if there is any cause or demonstration or protest, you always find them behind his camera, try to cover that, and he has this disarming personality. He can interview anybody. He's been in the White House, he's been everywhere. Access the state capitol, he can just go anywhere and talk to anybody. I had coffee with him today, and we just simply start talking about things, and I put the mic on him, and he just start talking. I just let him talk about his life, background, growing up in a small farm and his land. He's a staunch support of Phillips and his venture to run for president, try to get ready, let's just put it that way, of Biden and his disasters, one term. So we talked about a lot of things, and I'm gonna just let him talk and get myself out of the way and get to know Bill Sorem. He lives here in Minneapolis, and he lives in Green Lake here, and he's very active, even his 80s, still active and still young spirit. So today with my friend Bill Sorem.
But I do remember the farm foreclosures later on in the 30s, and they're really tragic. You'd go to auctions on the farm, and all their personal belongings are in piles out there, and the auctioneer is auctioning.
I just attended a farm auction.
Yeah, and then they'd say, if a farmer moves to town, we're going to come to his funeral in 6 months. Well, that was, of course, in the 30s was the peak of the American Nazi Party. And the big, what was it, how many, 50,000 in New York, or 20,000?
I have no idea.
Thousands of them attended the Nazi rally in 1939.
Supporting?
Well, they were just Nazis. That was it.
What was their demands?
They
don't know. They didn't have signs. Me too, whatever.
Well, no, they ran around in the swastika, McCarthy era. And I had to sign a loyalty oath, I don't know, 3 times number of times, I am not now, nor have I ever been a member of the American Communist Party or any of the following. And hell, they had 100 names, Lithuanian students, and God knows, I don't even know what the hell they were. But, no, I'm not a communist. I had to sign the damn oath.
I was asked that when I came here first, the airport.
Yeah, were you a communist?
Communist or any, whatever. Join it. So you worked with Phillips for a while, his campaign.
Yeah. In fact, we were at his thing last Sunday.
So what happened?
Well,
why is he? What is he trying to do?
This guy has an incredible moral compass.
Really?
Very, very strong. And I was his first interviewer. I caught him at his announcement party and grabbed him and stuck him in the corner and said, "Why are you running for Congress?"
Yeah.
And he said, "I care."
Wow.
And the real problem is he's really frustrated with the mess in Congress. And he said when he tells this story, when he went out there the first time, they put the Democrats in one bus and the Republicans in the other. And they kept them separate. You can't have any collegiality. And the orientation breakfast for freshman Congress members, they did get together, and there's men walking around the room with envelopes, passing out money. And being, And he's the only one in the whole damn Congress who refuses PAC money, refuses other member money.
Yeah.
He's a real. We saw him Sunday, and he's just kind of burned out.
Serious? Is he serious about running?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's serious.
Yeah. Yeah.
What was his issue? What is he?
Well, no, he said a long time ago. Biden promised that he was going to be a one-term president. The Minnesota Republican Party is pissing all over him. They won't support him, and
What about CD3 people, Democrats?
Well, they're split. They're a bunch of people. Well, most of us are sad that he's leaving, for God's sake.
Yeah,
A very credible candidate.
campaign for him twice.
Yeah, and but he's just, he's done. He's tried and he's tried and he's tried, and you can't get through the thing. And he just said Biden should pass it on. He called Whitmer from Michigan.
Yeah.
She refused to take his call.
Governor, really?
Yeah, because he called her months ago. Called her and said, "Why don't you run?" Number one, she refused to take his call. Number two, the political whatever told him, "Don't you dare mention her name."
Goodness, this is like
Well, it's politics.
Taliban's.
Hey, Ahmed, it's politics. That's how
Yeah,
it
but the
works.
party hierarchy, whatever.
And I forget, same thing. Somebody else he called, and they don't you dare mention my name. Well, Dean,
He did?
he's in the New Hampshire primary, and he's in South Carolina primary, and Clyburn, of course, came along and said Biden is our man,
Yeah.
But so Dean shakes Clyburn's hand.
Sure.
And
Friends.
yeah, well,
Background not in politics, but in corporate America.
well, it's been in and out. When I was in college, I was students for Ike Eisenhower, and I drove up in my not yet wife's front yard, and her father, who was a wild ass Democrat, looked out and who's that fucking Republican in our driveway? Yeah, but and I met Ike twice. And,
It was a good one.
yeah, I was in the Oval Office twice. That's an interesting place.
Yeah.
But no, Randy cuts up her Target card. I've got her hand doing.
I just love that.
Yeah. So that's how I got to meet Rondi. What's her name? Kelly Morrison.
Yeah.
She's a jewel. She is really, really good. She's OB. I met her. I met her at Dean's Victory Party when he was first elected, and she's really, really, really something. And when she announced, it was pretty obvious because she and Dean are big friends. And when she announced she was running, it was obvious that Dean knew.
If Dean runs for president, would you support him?
Yes, oh hell yes! I already sent him money. Sure, you bet.
Really?
Sure, a whole bunch of us have. Carol
A lot
belongs.
of people like you?
Yes, you bet.
You serious?
Yeah. Well,
How about out of Minnesota?
well,
Out of the season?
One of Carol's good friends, Susie Lewis, who knew that Phillips Dean when he was a little kid, he said she probably changed my diaper. But Susie went out to New Hampshire with him. Susie is, what is she? And I suppose she's been in her 70s. But when he meets people, he's really powerful because he's so damned honest.
Yeah.
He's got a good following in New Hampshire.
I mean, his statement about what's happening in Gaza was not really very.
No, well,
I mean, are we going to always find an excuse for those kind of politicians?
Well, look, it's an issue that won't be settled in America.
No, we're not talking
It's
about
got to be
settlement.
settled in the Mideast.
Why would you get involved in it?
well, he's been to Israel a couple of times. He's Jewish, of course.
Yeah, but
His dad, was killed.
when we say that, they said this is anti-Semitic. When you say
Yeah.
you're doing that because you're Jewish, and then the other argument, we support
Well,
Israel because we're Jewish.
he has said he wants to be the first Jewish president
Yeah.
and the first president to witness the Palestinian state.
Did he say that?
Yep. He's for the two states.
State solution?
Yep. They got Gotti, It was like a three-part series about it. It followed him all the way along from getting rid of Castellano and all.
They got him recently, like a few
Well,
years ago.
Gotti. Yeah, well, and his attorney, of course, Cutler, was just pounding the tables and screaming, and he got by, time after time after time, and they finally got him and sent him off to prison. And
He was like the Godfather.
oh yeah, no, he was a don. He was a mafia don. He was a. And,
Because you always hear about these things happen.
yeah, well, and the big part of it was his underboss caved on him. Fanny the Bull Gravano caved and turned state's evidence against him. So he did go to prison, and he died there of throat cancer a couple of years ago. But no, he went through trial after trial. His $2,000 silk suits and all that thing, just like Donald.
I gotta choose.
Donald Trump's attorney, Ada, the woman that sits, Ada, she's what, Armenian? Something like that.
Well, they're tough.
Yeah, she's a parking lot attorney for her husband. She's never tried a case. She's never done anything.
There you go.
But she owes
The TV, I saw it.
1.7 million in taxes.
Yeah, that's probably how they're gonna end up convicting him.
Could be. Oh, I don't know. It's going to be really hard.
Oh man, how many trials?
Well, there's 4 different cases going, and of course he's got the captive judge in Florida who's going to do everything to get him off, but the other 3 judges are not quite as.
Well, hypothetical. If he ran and won, what would happen to this?
Well, he'd have his Justice Department dismiss it all.
Dismiss everything.
Well, then you'd have a Justice Department that works for the dictator,
Yeah.
and they just go clear, forget all of them.
Yeah, you know what that's like. You know what that's about.
Oh yeah, I'm familiar with that.
Yeah, no,
Then,
that's why he wants to go through the election, because if he can get elected, why his Justice Department will clean it up for him.
And could be an issue.
The thing is,
No, the cult is too strong.
the thing is too, the so-called bureaucracy
The deep state.
is stable all the time.
Yeah.
And things don't move that quickly if you become an idiot like Trump in the White House.
Exactly.
They know how to.
And look at what he tried to do in his 4 years.
Yeah.
Couldn't do it because of this.
Well, that's why he's
Still
going
have
to
it-
fire all the civil service workers and make them swear an oath to the dictator.
But
the
it's
thing
still a
is,
bureaucracy.
the thing is, the government won't work now because
Yeah.
the people he hires don't know what they're doing.
No, but that's what they want. And you have a dictator that,
That was my conversation with Bill Sorem. I know in the background in the coffee shop, Dunn Brothers there on Shady Oak Road in Minnetonka. You can see my friend Jeff Street also was joining us later. And as you can see, this guy has the spirit, the energy, and he's not gonna go away anytime soon. And look him out. When you see a demonstration or a protest or a convention or whatever, that you're gonna see Bill Sorem's behind the camera. He's retired now, but he's still going strong. So. Please subscribe and follow and support our podcast and production, and we'll see you the next one. And give us some feedback. What topic you want to hear, and any ideas to improve this podcast. Be open to hear about it. So we'll see you then. Thank you.